Breaking news from around your world on this Wednesday, June 26, 2019. I'm Larry Rice. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday he was not talking boots on the ground should military action be necessary against Iran, and said any conflict would not last long. Asked if a war was brewing, Trump told Fox Business Network, "I hope we don't, but we're in a very strong position if something should happen. I'm not talking boots on the ground," Trump said. "I'm just saying if something would happen, it wouldn't last very long." The president's comments come just days after he canceled airstrikes minutes before impact, with allies warning that the increase in tensions since the U.S. pulled out of a nuclear pact with Iran last year could accidentally lead to war. Iran suggested it was just one day from breaching a threshold in the agreement that limited its stockpile of uranium, a move that would put pressure on European countries that have tried to remain neutral to pick sides. The fate of the 2015 nuclear deal, under which Iran agreed to curbs on its nuclear program in return for access to international trade, has been at the heart of the dispute, which has escalated and taken on a military dimension in recent weeks. 4 men with suspected ties to the Islamic State group were arrested in Nicaragua after crossing the border illegally from Costa Rica. Officials said the identities of the men matched those in an alert attributed to U.S. officials, saying the suspected jihadists were in Central America and may have been planning to eventually enter the United States. The 4, aged between 26 and 41, included 2 Egyptians and 2 Iraqis. Nicaraguan police said the men entered Nicaragua through an unauthorized crossing point near Cardenas. 3 of the men arrived in Costa Rica June 9th, according to their immigration documents given to police. That date matched the information released in a warning issued by the U.S. The 4th man was from Iraq and had arrived in Costa Rica June 13th. Officials said the men will be deported to Costa Rica. Former special counsel Robert Mueller will testify before Congress next month in regards to his investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election and accusations of obstruction of justice by President Trump. The House Judiciary and Intelligence Committees announced late Tuesday that Mueller had agreed to appear on July 17th in response to a subpoena. Democrats negotiated for more than 2 months to obtain the testimony, hoping to focus public attention on the special counsel's 448-page report that they believe most Americans have not read. The Judiciary panel will go first, then Intelligence, and it will be the first time Mueller has responded to questions since he was appointed special counsel in May of 2017. His sole public statement came from the Justice Department podium last month as he announced his departure when he sought to explain his decision not to indict Trump or to accuse him of criminal conduct. He also put lawmakers on notice that he was not eager to testify and did not ever intend to say more than what he put in the report. Mueller previously said his report was his testimony. U.S. stock index futures surged early Wednesday after Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said U.S. negotiators were close to sealing a trade deal with China. Mnuchin told CNBC on Wednesday, "We were about 90% of the way there, and I think there's a path to complete this." Futures for the Dow Jones Industrial Average were up by 0.4%, while those of the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq rose by 0.5% and 0.8% respectively. Mnuchin said he was confident that President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping could make progress toward resolving remaining sticking points when they meet during the Group of 20 summit this weekend in Osaka, Japan. South Korean President Moon Jae-in said Wednesday the peace process with North Korea has never stopped moving and that negotiations are underway for a 3rd summit between the U.S. and North Korea. The South Korean president said there has been considerable headway in the peace process and that it is still making steady progress. He said that behind-the-scenes talks have been ongoing between the United States and North Korea and that dialogue between the South and the North is underway through diverse channels. President Trump is scheduled to visit Seoul on Saturday after attending the G20 summit in Japan and will meet with President Moon Sunday. Kim Jong-un's meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping in Pyongyang last week added to the speculation that another summit could be in the works. Xi and Kim had met ahead of the previous two U.S.-North Korea summits. The South Korean president has made turning the Korean peninsula into a single economic bloc a central part of his administration's vision, a point he emphasized again on Wednesday. Moon said the Korean peninsula needs to take the path toward common prosperity as one unified community. The Kremlin confirmed Wednesday that Russian President Vladimir Putin will meet with President Donald Trump on the sidelines during the Group of 20 summit this weekend. The meeting comes amid bitter differences between Moscow and Washington and will be their first official encounter since last fall. A Kremlin spokesman said the meeting is set to last about an hour, though it will be up to the presidents to decide how long they talk. Issues the talks are expected to touch on include arms control and international crises, including the Iranian nuclear deal, Syria, North Korea, and Ukraine. Russia-U.S. ties have sunk to their lowest levels since the Cold War. Putin and Trump have met on the sidelines of several international meetings, most recently at the G20 summit in Buenos Aires last fall. They also had a full-fledged summit in Helsinki, Finland, last July. French authorities said on Wednesday an electrical fault or a burning cigarette may have been responsible for the fire that gutted Notre Dame Cathedral on April 15th. Paris prosecutors said that while they were investigating the possibility of negligence, they currently had no reason to believe the fire was started deliberately. Flames destroyed the roof, toppling the spire and almost bringing down the main bell towers and outer walls before firefighters brought it under control. In a statement about what may have caused the fire, Paris prosecutor Rémi Heitz said nothing had been ruled out, with an electrical fault and a cigarette that was not properly extinguished, two of several possible causes being investigated. President Emmanuel Macron had set a target of 5 years for restoring Notre Dame, which dates back to the 12th century and is one of Europe's most iconic landmarks. San Francisco has voted to ban the sales of e-cigarettes, including products from locally headquartered Juul. The city's mayor, London Breed, has 10 days to review the legislation and potentially sign it into law. If she does, it will go into effect in 7 months, after which it will be illegal to sell nicotine vaporizer products in stores or for online retailers to ship the goods to San Francisco. It will be the first ban of its kind in the country. City Attorney Dennis Herrera, who co-sponsored the bill, said that the increase in e-cigarettes has led to higher rates of nicotine addiction among young people. Cigarettes and other tobacco products, as well as recreational marijuana, remain legal in San Francisco. A test project to enable passengers to travel between the Netherlands and Canada using their mobile phones instead of passports was launched at the Montreal airport Wednesday. The Known Traveler Digital Identity Platform will be tested internally through 2019, with the first end-to-end paperless journey expected to take place in early 2020, according to the World Economic Forum, which is collaborating on the project along with the governments of the two countries. Christoph Wolff, head of mobility, World Economic Forum, said, by 2030, international air travel is expected to rise to 1.8 billion passengers, up 50% from 2016. With current systems, airports cannot keep up. He said the project uses interoperable digital identities to secure the travel. And that's your update for this Wednesday, June 26th, 2019. I'm Larry Rice. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.